Hello everyone and welcome on my behalf to this whole TOGETHERNET 24-hour event and especially to this part, Master Your Memory workshop. My name is Jussi Ahonen and I come from Finland, a city called Lahti, which is 100 kilometers north from Helsinki. In my civil job, I work in a company called Bravedo, or Bravedo in English, as a development specialist. So I am trying to do our workers' job easier. I have trained a lot in JCI. I have a teacher background and I've always been very interested in developing myself both physically and mentally. And this is probably what explains the topic of this workshop. And whenever I am sitting on a training, I'd like to know the person who I am dealing with. So, lesson number 1. You can remember things much easier if you surround them with stupid pictures. So here are stupid pictures of me and also the live video stream. So you know I really exist. I will turn this video off for the rest of the show because you don't need it. Let's move on. This training is part of larger training. I have trained it as 2-hour workshop and it includes few memorizing techniques and we can go into things more thoroughly. So this table of content is quite short, as is the time, but I will teach you one technique properly, so you can use it right afterwards. So let's start. So, why are you here? I really hope the reason for you being here is this. This course is about memorizing things. I will give you one really excellent and powerful tool on memorizing things, memorizing lists, memorizing bigger entities, and so on. But let's go to theory part. You might have heard a comparison of our memory to a computer that no one knows how it works. The other comparison is our brain to be like a muscle. Our brain is not a muscle, but it's a quite good analogy, meaning the more you train, the better you become as a muscle. Or using an analogy as a forest trail, the more you walk, the wider it will become, the stronger the connection will become, as it is in memorizing. So usually we divide our memory into two. There's short-term memory, which is kind of goldfish memory. You can store there few things, and after half or 1 minute they are gone, unless you store them to your long-term memory, which is said to be almost limitless capacity. There are estimations how big the capacity is, but I think we will not get like a real answer in computer terms ever. Well, maybe not ever. You know the funny little symbol in mathematics called pi. It's irregular number. There are indefinite amount of decimals. So people compete remembering those decimals. So how would you guess what's the world record of memorizing the decimals of pi? Would it be 100, 1000 or more? It's over 70,000. And unofficial is over 100,000. Of course, these persons, they are professionals. This is what they do. But this doesn't mean that an average person couldn't do much more memorizing on their brain than they think. When you shuffle a deck of cards and then go through them one by one, and what's the world record of memorizing the correct order. A little over 10 seconds. Quite astonishing. So, mainly, we almost all have pictures in our head. So, the bigger, the brighter, the dirtier the pictures are, the better. That's the way of memorizing things. The problem is where to find the information. It is said that we even might have all the data in our head that we have encountered in our whole lives. But the problem is where to look. And this is the thing I will teach you today. And also the forgetting is a bless. There are people who don't forget anything, and it can be a real curse. Forgetting is also like a way of our brain to renew. So if you don't remember where you left your car when you went shopping 1 month ago, it's completely okay. And it's a sign of brain working normally. The nicer word of remembering things is mnemonics. And as with everything, good food, exercise, good sleep, enough sleep, they will help you in memorizing things. Also, the caffeine is one thing that is argued. There's a whole Wikipedia article about caffeine in memorizing things in mnemonics. Well, results are for and against, but I think the moderate amount of coffee might be the answer. You can also try to, it helps with Alzheimer disease and stuff if you work on your brain. Do crossword puzzles, try to remember things. So let's have a short exercise. I will give you a list of things. Try to remember as many as you can during this short amount of time. You have 2 minutes starting now. All right, the 2 minutes has gone. So, what would you say? How many would you remember? Would you remember the first one, second, fifth, 10th? Could you remember all 20? Well, soon you will. I will teach you a technique originally called as a method of Ioki. Ioki meaning places in ancient Greek. This method is over 2000 years old. Cicero, a famous Roman politician, used it and mentioned it in his book. The other names are memory journey, mind palace, and memory palace, which is the term I use. As you can see, I have inserted a picture of some probably Greek temple in this slide. It helps me remembering. So it comes from Greek and Rome, and this might be a picture of palace. It helps, as I told before, pictures, images in our heads are the key of remembering things. So the first thing in this technique is to consider a familiar route. It might be the route from your home to your workplace, your office. It might be a route from your home to a local shopping center or supermarket, a road to your way to your friend's house or to your relatives, your parents, to your kids, or it could be your jogging route, the way you go walk with your dog, or it could be as simple as your house. Okay, we might not live in palaces, at least not most of us, but we still usually have our homes. And we have different rooms. It's advisable to use one room at a time. So one room is one place. And when you have decided what to use, or you can always change these later, but now just pick up one. And after that, consider clear spots on that route. Okay, there's misspelling. If you are using your home, you might want to take the route when you invite a guest. It might be the natural order where you present your house. Okay, we start here. This is the outdoor, and then we come to living room. On the left there's a bedroom, and so on. On a jogging route or work route, you might, okay, this is my outdoor, this is the gate of our yard. Okay, there are those traffic lights, crossroad over there, there's that big stone, or that funny looking tree, or there's that place that old lady is always going out with her dog, or something like that. It only something you remember, you remember. I hope you get what I mean. So the thing is to create a map to your head, because when you have a map on your head and clear spots, they are actually the storages where you can save the thing you want to remember. And after you have a clear map or palace journey, you place things you need to memorize into those spots. We had those lists on a previous slide. You can use this to remember shopping list, or also bigger entities. If you are studying to an exam, you just save like key phrases, key words to those spots, because our brain works in a way of associating. You remember one thing, then it leads to another, and so on. And few tips how to place these into those map spots. Place them in the same order that they are on the list. For example, if you need to remember the list in order, it's easy to follow the same route. Okay, spot number 1 is my outer door. Spot number 2 is our gate yard. So you always know the order, and you can say, okay, the 5th thing is in the list was this, because you know what is the 5th thing in your memory palace or journey. You have to use your imagination. You have to exaggerate those images. Just create them as big, as bright, as funny, as stupid as you want. The stupider, the better. It's in our biology. This is nice to know that we we remember dirty images that include somehow to sex better. It's in our biology. Our brain works that way. It has been like a survival thing. And when you have done all of this, you have all those things placed in your map. Go through your route, repeat. And if there are things, in the beginning probably there are some things that you don't remember. Just put them there. Imagine them better, and then go through the route. It will take a few more times in the beginning, but you will be surprised how easy and effective this memory palace thing is. So this was the theory part of this memory palace. Let's move to exercise, shall we? Now it's the time to create your own memory palaces. So use any way, any route, any map you know for sure. Write it down, start by numbering. Number 1 is my front door or something. Number 2 is my living room or whatever it is. And just write them down in order. I will give you 3 minutes starting now. So the 3 minutes has passed. Now it's a time to store the things from your list in your palace, the palace you just created. I will show you the list shortly. Please put away your pencils. The next phase will happen only in your heads. And please store those things in the list in order. You just created order 1, 2, 3, 4. Please do that. Use that order. Remember clear images. Create those dirty images in your head. So if it makes you laugh, it's a good image. And then when you get those 10 images to your head, repeat. All clear. Cool. Here is the list. Now start imaging. I will give you 2.5 minutes. Great. And time's up. Isn't it funny feeling when you know that you remember certain amount of things from that list? And also those things you don't remember. You might have a blank spot in like number 5, but you know that it's number 5. This is just the beginning of learning memorizing techniques. If you are interested in learning more of these more profoundly, the internet is full of these. For example, you could use this technique when you go to shopping mall or supermarket next time. You wouldn't need a shopping list. I hope you have enjoyed this short review of memory techniques of Memory Palace. I have. I wish you all the best in the future. Let's be in touch. Bye bye.